This is my enchantment table, and it sucks for obvious reasons. So today we are giving him a home he deserves. And trust me, the inside turned out way better than expected. Okay, there's just one problem with this build. We are going to need froglights. And there's no way I'm farming those by hand. Looks like we're building a froglight farm. Funny thing is, I was not even in the Nether yet, and it's in-game day 39 already. That's why I headed straight over to my trusted lava pool to grab some obsidian. 20 obsidian should do the trick for now. Before heading into the Nether, I wanted to smelt all my iron first because we're going to need a lot of it for the farm. And look who's back, my dear friend. While the iron was smelting, I spent some time breeding my sheep to squeeze out a few more levels. Prot 4 on the chest plate it is. A plain nether portal looks pretty ugly, so I decided to tuck it away behind the storage room. This is just a little extra safety measure. Before stepping into the Nether for the first time, I figured it would be better to clean up my inventory. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, this wasn't exactly the Nether entrance I was hoping for. I've got one goal in the Nether today. Get that froglight farm up and running. Which means I should probably try and not get distracted too much. First, we need to get up to the Nether roof and find a basalt delta. After that, it's just a matter of gathering all the materials and, unfortunately, the animals. So, let's get moving. A little bit of quartz farming is a must. Excuse me? Whatever, man. I figured this would be a pretty good spot to build the staircase up to the bedrock ceiling. Now we just need to find the right spot for the ladder. We found the spot, but we need a ladder and an ender pearl also. These lava curtains are really getting on my nerves, so let's get rid of them. This definitely needs to be upgraded to cobblestone. Luckily, I brought some gold with me to trade for ender pearls. Got them. Alright, back to the Nether roof. This portal right here is where the froglight farm is going to be. Next up, I'm heading back home to link my base portal to a second one up on the Nether roof. After that, all that's left is breaking the bedrock above the ladder, so we can get off and on the roof whenever we want. To break through the bedrock, we're going to need a few pistons, some TNT, which we luckily already have, and of course a lever and a trapdoor. Not this guy again. Now that we've set the basics, it's time to build the actual farm. But there's still quite a bit of prep work ahead, but the biggest challenge by far will be bringing home all the 3 frog variants. Because first we need to kidnap a couple of frogs from the swamp, then we will need to breed them somewhere safe, collect the tadpoles, and finally raise them in the right biomes so they can grow into the variants we need. Before we do any of that, I noticed I made it back to level 30, and since I would rather stay alive, I'm going to try and get feather falling on my boots. In case you didn't know, feather falling is actually more common at lower enchantment levels like 24 or 26. So if you're trying to get it, it might be worth removing some bookshelves and checking the enchantments again. And just like that, after removing a few bookshelves, feather falling 2 showed up, but maybe we can do it even better. Nice, we got feather falling 3. With that taken care of, it's finally time to head to a nearby swamp and pick up some frogs. After spending what felt like 30 minutes in the swamp, I still hadn't seen a single frog. At this point, I wasn't even sure if they could spawn in a regular swamp anymore. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments, because I could have sworn I've seen frogs in these before. So I came up with a different plan. I have coordinates for a mangrove swamp, but it's way too far away to travel there back and forth through the overworld. So instead, I'm going to transport the frogs through the Nether. That will actually come in handy later, since we'll need access to a few different biomes anyway to raise all the frogs variants. So let's head back home, grab what we need, and get this started. On the way back home, I stumbled across a pink sheep. I think this guy will be my very first pet. Now I just need a name for him. So if you have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. This is your home for now. I know you're probably not a huge fan of your white neighbors. Yeah, that kinda came out wrong. Back to the trusted lava pool, because we're going to need a lot more obsidian for all the portals this frog mission is about to require. Okay, now comes the fun part. We will go, get frogs, breed them, meanwhile build the farm, get the tadpoles, let them grow in the biome, breed frogs again, take the tadpoles again, let them grow, meanwhile build the farm. Whatever, you know what I mean. I think I'll just stop explaining and just let the gameplay speak for itself. Alright, quite a lot happened in the last minute. First of all, I built this ugly bridge. Don't worry though, we're definitely rebuilding it later. The farm is fully up and running now, and we've got all the frog lights we need. I also cleaned up this messy sheep farm we had, and we gave our pink sheep a better place to hang out. I also decided to give myself a little challenge. Until this build is completely finished, I'm not allowed to use my level 30 enchantment setup. I haven't shown you the material list yet, so I thought I would give you a little sneak peek. As you can see, we're going to need a ton of frog lights, a ton of spruce, and plenty of other basic building blocks. Before we start gathering the rest of the materials, I wanted to take care of a few side quests first. First side quest is to pet my sheep. And second one, as I already said, is dealing with this ugly bridge. Before I try to save this bridge, I want to do a little bit of terraforming first. Nothing fancy, just filling in parts of this river so it's not quite as steep. This already looks much better now. Now let's rebuild the bridge together. Second, I think these bridge supports look way too flimsy, so I gave them a bit more bulk down in the water. That's already looking a whole lot better. Another thing that was really bothering me was the shape of the bridge, so let's see if we can give it a cleaner look. I think it's still missing a bit of wood. Right now it feels a little too stone heavy. That's perfect. These lamps look awful though. This looks better, but without those trapdoors. I'm fine with the bridge, to be honest, but I still don't like it to 100%, but it's better for sure than before. With that out of the way, all that's left now is gathering the rest of the materials for the actual build. While I'm gathering the rest of the materials, I wanted to talk a bit about future projects. I think the next big build is definitely going to be an Enderman farm combined with a custom build of my own. The only problem is, I still have no idea what that build should actually look like. So if you've got any ideas, feel free to let me know in the comments. But besides that, I wanted to share a few thoughts. If I'm being honest, I sometimes look at all those bigger creators and I feel like my videos don't even come close. Just making these first 2 episodes has taken way more time and effort than I ever expected, and sometimes I genuinely wonder how they managed to do it all. That being said, I'm going to keep improving and do my best to make each video better than the last. Hopefully that means that the next episode will be even more enjoyable to watch. But that's enough rambling from me, back to gathering the materials. The frog legs are secured, so that's one thing off the list. Next up is spruce wood, and we're going to get a lot of it from right outside in front of my starter house. I really need to come up with a better spot for a tree farm though. Especially these giant spruce trees. Between their size and all the pot soil they leave behind, they're making a complete mess of this place. We will also need to turn a good chunk of that wood into things like stairs, slabs and other building blocks. Next we need a bunch of acacia wood as well. We're going to use it for some darker accents to the tower. Still missing about 200 of them, but that shouldn't be a problem. At this point, I could probably keep going for ages just gathering those materials, but let's be honest, that's not why you clicked on this video. So enough farming, let's just start building and enjoy. The tower turned out pretty much exactly how I imagined it, and I couldn't be happier with the result. And just by the way, this was the inspiration behind the build. Now let's head inside. And we are immediately greeted by this beautiful tree. Although there's still one final thing missing. And just like that, the build is finally complete. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and while I can't promise you anything, I'm going to do everything I can to make the next one even better. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I see you in the next one.